Hello, folks. Welcome to the Quiz of Fire on the 9th of May. It's just me, myself tonight. Claire has had to duck out at the last minute, unfortunately, but she will be back next time we do it. But for now, it's just me. I hope you liked our new intro there. It was quite fast and furious, which I think describes the quiz really well. So it's the usual format tonight. We've got the 4 rounds of 10 questions each. You can play along at home. You can play along in teams with your friends via social media. What we want you to do is register your team names on the live chat, which a lot of you have started to do just now. So the first 10 minutes is a bit admin-y. We'll just get all the teams into the spreadsheet, and then we'll get on with the quiz. So just having a quick look at last week's scores. We had 28 teams last week, so it was a good quiz all round. It was a tie. I don't know if you remember that. It was an exciting, nail-biting tie at the end between Flammable Llamas and Dunvegan on 40 points each. They opted to split the prize. But unfortunately the prize wasn't anything much at all. As usual, the prize is a scratch card. So tonight's scratch card is £500,000 up for grabs if you win tonight's quiz. So if you just bear with me, I am going to start popping in these team names into my spreadsheet. So please bear with me. Now is maybe a good time to go and fill your glasses up, get yourselves a drink if you want. We will start the quiz very shortly. A lot of teams returning, which is good. So we must be doing something right with the quiz. So it's nice that you'll come back. So thank you very much. Forgot to mention, we do have a very special announcement, which I'll probably do at the end and try and stretch it out as much as I can. But it is quite an exciting announcement that we've been sitting on all week, really. So stay tuned for that one. Right, won't be too long. I'm just almost getting all these team names in the scoring spreadsheet. So the format is we'll go through the rounds. There's 10 questions per round. At the end of the round, I'll give you the answers. If you can score your own scores for that round, and then submit your scores through the live chat. If you can remember and put your team name first and then the score, it'll help me a lot when I'm putting these in the spreadsheet, and then we'll keep a kind of rolling tally as we go on. And then at the end, hopefully there'll be one winner who will win the scratch card. We had a few technical issues last week. For those who were here last week, what happened? We don't actually know what happened. Something happened and it completely dropped out anyway. So if that happens again, if you just keep an eye on the Quiz of Fire YouTube channel, you'll see a new stream pop up, and we'll name it something that'll grab your attention. Then if you just jump on that, I'm hoping it won't happen again, but you never know, and we never actually got to the bottom of why it happened. So. Right. If that's all the teams entered, I think we've got 26-ish teams tonight. 22. So if there's no other teams wanting to enter, we will make a start. Just going to check my phone. Right then. I'll take that as a yes, we're good to start. So we will go straight into round one. Okay, the first round is the general knowledge round. We've got 10 questions, varying on just about anything. So we'll start with question number 1. In a Devonshire cream tea, what is the correct order to prepare your scone? Is it scone topped with jam, then cream, or scone topped with cream, then jam? So that's question 1. In a Devonshire cream tea, what is the correct order to prepare your scone? Is it scone topped with jam, then cream, or scone topped with cream, then jam? That's question 1. Okay, question 2. Which Geordie wrote and starred in the BBC drama Crocodile Shoes in 1994, resulting in a hit record of the same name? Which Geordie wrote and starred in the BBC drama Crocodile Shoes in 1994, resulting in a hit record of the same name? That's for 1 point for both names. Okay, question number 3. Which South English seaside fishing resort boasts 2 funicular railways, includes Joe Brand and Suggs from Madness as previous residents, and lends its name to one of the most famous dates in British history? So question number 3, which South English seaside fishing resort boasts 2 funicular railways, includes Joe Brand and Suggs from Madness as previous residents, and lends its name to one of the most famous dates in British history? Question 4. In the game of Conkers, the conker is the seed of which tree? Question 4. In the game of Conkers, the conker is the seed from which tree? Duncan Moody's asking, what beer am I drinking? It is, it's a Pilsner from Aldi. That's what I'm having tonight. Okay, question 5 is a picture question. So let me just pull this up. So question 5, who is this person? It's actually 3 famous people all patched together, but can you name them all and what links them together? So there's 4 points there. 3 points for each of the 3 people, and then 1 point for what links them together. I'll leave that up for a little bit. So who is this person? It's actually 3 famous people patched together. Can you name them all? And what links them together? Okay, that was question 5. Question 6. In prime ministerial lines of succession, if we assume that Boris Johnson, the current prime minister, is position number 1, who is in position number 7? So going back 7 from Boris Johnson, who is number 7? In prime ministerial lines of succession, if we assume Boris Johnson, the current PM, is position 1, who is position number 7? That was question 6. Question 7 is next. In what year did Apple release the first iPad? 2 points for the exact year, 1 point for a year either side. The name of the person, Samantha Foley. So who was Prime Minister 7 Prime Ministers ago from the current PM? So question 7, in which year did Apple release the first iPad? 2 points for the exact year, 1 point for a year either side. Okay, question number 8. Which day of the week do all Walker's crisp packets have as their best before date? Which day of the week do all Walker's crisp packets have as their best before date? Okay, question number 9. In the world of Star Trek, which space race has the home world named Kronos and have D7 class battle cruisers equipped with cloaking technology to render them invisible to other spaceships? Question 9. In the world of Star Trek, which space race has the home world named Kronos and has D7 class battle cruisers equipped with cloaking technology to render them invisible to other spaceships? Right, I'm getting lots of people not understanding the Prime Minister question, so I'll go over that one again. That was question 6. It's maybe worded quite badly. In prime ministerial lines of succession, if we assume Boris Johnson is in position 1, who is in position 7? So what I want to know here is, if Boris Johnson's 1, Theresa May's 2, and then going back and back and back, who is number 7? If that makes it any clearer. So I guess it is 7 prime ministers ago. Does that make more sense? If you can comment. Right, question number 10 is another picture round. We did a 10-pointer last week with the Very Hungry Caterpillar, so we thought we would do another 10-pointer. So here is the 10-pointer. What we want is which brand is each letter using. So each letter, this is taken from the brand name of a company or from a food or whatever. Can you name all 10 brands, please? Here, and I'll leave this one up for a little bit. Just while we've got this one up, does anyone need any questions repeated from this round? If you can comment the number, I can easily read them out again. Does anyone need any more time on the 10-pointer? And if not, Duncan's wanting to see question 5 again, which was the three people, so I'll pop that one up for. So nobody want any more time on this? I'll pop up the this one again. So this was question number 5. 3 people. Who are they and what links them for 4 points? Question number 8. Which day of the week do all Walker's crisp packets have as their best before date? So there's one day of the week that Walkers always use for their best before date. What day of the week is it? Okay, and if that's everyone, I think we'll just go straight on to the answers now for round 1. Okay, the answers to round 1 then. Question number 1. In a Devonshire cream tea, what is the correct order to prepare your scone? It is scone, cream, then jam. So jam on the top. That's for 1 point. Question 2. Which Geordie wrote and starred in the BBC drama Crocodile Shoes in 1994, resulting in a hit record of the same name? That was Jimmy Nail. Question 3. Which South English seaside fishing resort boasts 2 funicular railways, includes Joe Brand and Suggs from Madness as previous residents, and lends its name to one of the most famous dates in British history? That is Hastings. Question 4. In the game of Conkers, the conker is the seed of which tree? It is the horse chestnut, for 1 point. Right, question 5. here's the answers here. It was Steve Jobs, Steve Buscemi, and Steve Coogan. And what was linking them, of course, was that they're all called Steve. So that's the famous Steve question for 4 points. That was question number 5. Question 6, in prime ministerial lines of succession, if we assume that Boris Johnson is in position 1, who is in position 7? So it goes Boris Johnson 1, Theresa May 2, David Cameron 3, Gordon Brown 4, Tony Blair 5, John Major 6, Margaret Thatcher 7. So the answer was Margaret Thatcher. Question number 7. In which year did Apple release the first iPad? 2 points for the exact year, 1 point for a year either side. It was 2010. So 2010 gets you 2 points. 2009 or 2011 gets you 1 point. Question 8. Which day of the week do all Walker's crisp packets have as their best before? It's on a Saturday. Question 9. In the world of Star Trek, which space race has the home world named Kronos and has D7 class battle cruisers equipped with cloaking technology to render them invisible to other spaceships? That is the Klingons. And question 10. This was the 10-pointer. So moving along from left to right, we've got Tesco, Microsoft Internet Explorer, Nike, Pringles, Haribo, Twix, Netflix, Tesla, Pret-a-Manger, and Baskin Robbins. So that was for 10 points. Okay, if you can mark up your round and fire in your scores, please remember to put your team name before your score. I will do my best to do this bit as quickly as possible. Normally, Claire's here helping me with this, but shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully that round wasn't too difficult and to ease us in. There we go. So we've got Rubber Dinghy Rapids 11, Martini in the Rocks 13, Dances with Dogs got 11. Yeah, the 10-pointer's worth 10, so if you got 8, then you would get 8 points, Leslie. Wine Gums got 14. Wian got 13. Oben got 18, good score from them. 17 for Bold and Brash. Dopey, Grumpy and Sneezy got 14. Dullards got 10. Then Bacon got 14. Nanograms got 17. Flaming Llamas, last week's joint winners, got 10. Joni Honor Oni got 8. Executive Hobo, good score there with 15. Reeling Gropers got 12. Daft Kiwis got 16. McCohen, not McEwen, that's a strange name. They got 14. It's almost like someone didn't pronounce his name right when he got nominated for the Ice Bucket Challenge. Sorry about that, Brian. Maltesers PLC got 12. That Axel Foley's Caucasian Sister got 12. Lebo got 4. Tough round. Andrew got 11. Mini Groovers got 4. So, we're waiting on Home Alone. Oh, there we go. 8. And Pickles got 17. Right, that's all the scores in. I'm not going to run through them all, but in the lead at the moment are Team Oban on 18 points. Second place behind them, Bananagrams on 17. Also, Team Pickled have got 17. And then it goes on and on and on. So, have I got all the scores in now? Yep, right. So we'll go on now to round 2. So let me just pull that up. Okay, round 2 is the true or false round. 10 statements. They're either true or false. All you have to do is say which you think it is. So the answer is either true or it's false. Question number 1. Victorian sideshow celebrity John Merrick shared more than half of his DNA with that of an actual elephant. That's question 1. Victorian sideshow celebrity John Merrick shared more than half of his DNA with that of an actual elephant. True or false? Okay, question 2. Darren Philpott caused shockwaves in the world of blind darts in 2007 when it transpired he had lied for years and had near 20/20 vision, a distinct advantage against his opponents. So Darren Philpott caused shockwaves in the world of blind darts in 2007 when it transpired he had lied for years and had near 20/20 vision, a distinct advantage against his opponents. Question number 3. Blood donors in Sweden receive a text message whenever their blood is used. So blood donors in Sweden receive a text message whenever their blood is used. Question 4. Director Francis Ford Coppola holds a US patent for a t-shirt printed with identifiable sections that when worn permit the wearer to identify for a third party a particular location on the wearer's body, for instance in the event that they have an itch that needs scratched. That's a long one, I'll say it again. Director Francis Ford Coppola holds a US patent for a t-shirt printed with identifiable sections that when worn permit the wearer to identify for a third party a particular location on the wearer's body, for instance in the event that they have an itch that needs scratched. That's question number 4. Question number 5. The fictional county of Midsomer has a higher assumed murder rate per capita than the US city of Detroit. So the fictional county of Midsomer from Midsomer Murders has a higher assumed murder rate per capita than the US city of Detroit. Okay, question 6. During their 2001 run in Aladdin at the King's Theatre in Glasgow, the Crankies' backstage rider every night was 40 Embassy Regal, Tunnock's Tea Cakes, and a copy of the Daily Express. So during their 2001 run in Aladdin at the King's Theatre in Glasgow, the Crankies' backstage rider every night was 40 Embassy Regal, Tunnock's Tea Cakes, and a copy of the Daily Express. Question number 7. The heart of a blue whale is so huge that an otter could easily swim through its arteries. The heart of a blue whale is so huge that an otter could easily swim through its arteries. Is that true or false? That's question number 7. Question number 8. Today is World Buckfast Day, traditionally the second Saturday in May, which celebrates the popular tonic wine known variously as Coatbridge Table Wine and Wreck the Hoose Juice. So question 8. Today is World Buckfast Day, true or false? Traditionally the second Saturday in May, celebrating the popular tonic wine. Question number 9. Former Radio 1 disc jockey Chris Moyles was once the voice of the speaking clock. Former Radio 1 disc jockey Chris Moyles was once the voice of the speaking clock. Is that true or false? And question 10. Emmerdale is the longest running TV soap in the UK. Emmerdale is the longest running TV soap in the UK. Right, if anyone wants any of them repeated, if you can drop down the question that you want repeated. Hopefully they were all pretty easy, straightforward. Well, I'm not seeing anyone needing any questions repeating, so... Oh, question 4, please, Paul from Duncan. This was the really long one. Director Francis Ford Coppola holds a US patent for a t-shirt printed with identifiable sections that when worn permit the wearer to identify for a third party a particular location on the wearer's body, for instance in the event that they have an itch needing scratched. So it's basically a t-shirt with a grid, and each section on the grid has a number. So the wearer can say, I've got an itch on my back and it's in position A12. If that makes it easy. Oh, it was number 3 Keith wanted. Blood donors in Sweden receive a text message every time their blood is used. Okay, I think we're good, so we're going to go on to the answers for the true or false round. Okay, here's the answers. I've just seen Sarah's asked for question 5 again, so I'll quickly read it and then go straight into the answers, but I'll give you a couple of seconds to write true or false. The fictional county of Midsummer has a higher assumed murder rate per capita than the US city of Detroit. That's question 5. Right then, true or false? The answers. Question 1, Victorian sideshow celebrity John Merrick shared more than half of his DNA with that of an actual elephant. That's true. All humans share more than half of their DNA with that of an elephant. So no great surprise there. Question 2, Darren Philpott caused shockwaves in the world of blind darts in 2007 when it transpired he had lied for years and had near 20/20 vision. That's false. I made all of that up. Question 3, blood donors in Sweden receive a text message whenever their blood is used. That's true. It was done to encourage more young people to donate blood. A hospital in Gothenburg sends texts to donors whenever their blood has been dispensed to someone in need. Question 4, director Francis Ford Coppola holds a US patent for a t-shirt with the grid, the various sections on it to permit the wearer to identify for a third party a particular location on the wearer's body, for instance, if they have an itch that needs scratched. That is true. Question 5, the fictional county of Midsummer has a higher assumed murder rate per capita than the US city of Detroit. That's false. Midsummer is lower. So the assumed murder rate per capita in Midsummer, if you add up all the murders in the show and look at it over the year, etc., is 3.2 per 100,000. Detroit has a rate of 3.9 per 100,000. By comparison, the UK as a whole only has a murder rate of 1.2 per 100,000. So the answer to that one was false. Question 6, during their 2001 run in Aladdin at the King's Theatre in Glasgow, the Crankies backstage rider every night was a 40 Embassy Regal, 10x tea cakes and a copy of the Daily Express. That is false, I made that up. Question 7, the heart of a blue whale is so huge that an otter could easily swim through its arteries. Apparently it's true. Question 8, today is World Buckfast Day, traditionally the second Saturday in May. That is true. Question 9, former Radio 1 disc jockey Chris Moyles was once the voice of the speaking clock. That's true. It was from the 3rd of February to the 23rd of March 2009. Moyles, along with others, helped raise money for charity by reading the time on the speaking clock. I think that was for Comic Relief or something like that. And question 10, Emmerdale is the longest running TV soap in the UK. Is false. It's Coronation Street, of course, which has been running for 12 years longer. So that was all of the true or false round questions. Potentially out of 10 there, so if you can add up all your scores and get them in, please. I'll add them onto the my little spreadsheet. So Team Oban, they're first in with their answers. They got 5. Candrew got 6. Maltesers PLC got 5. Winegums got 6. Reeling Groupers got 6. Executive Hobo got 3. Crumpets, I don't think I've got your team there. Leslie, I don't have your team name there, so could you give me your first round score as well, please? Flammable Llamas got 6. Bananagrams got 3. Rubber Dinghies got 4. Wigan got 5. Martini on the Rocks got 6. Dullards got 7. Dunvegan got 2. Not such a good round there. Axel Foley's Caucasian Sister got 6. Lebo Baggins got 6. Daft Kiwis got 6. Dopey, etc. got 5. Dances with Dogs got 5. Home Alone got 6. Joni and Aroni got 4. Mini Groovers got 6. So I'm still waiting on Bold and Brash, I think. Bold and Brash got 6. And it's McEwen, not McEwen. I'm still waiting on that, unless I've missed that on. Have I missed that one maybe? So I'm still waiting on their scores. Oh no, I've got that one too. McEwen, not McEwen. Sorry. Right. So still in first place then is Team Oban with 23 points. Who's in second place? Oh, it's joint first actually. We've got joint first with Team Pickled, and also joint first. Oh, it's a 3-way tie with Bold and Brash. Right, let's move on then to the next round, which is the news and current event round. Okay, the next round is the news and current events round. All of these questions relate to events that have happened in the last 2 weeks since we last did the quiz. So, question number 1. Boris Johnson became a father last week. What was the first name of his new child? Boris Johnson became a father last week. What is his new child's first name? Not looking for his middle names, just his first name. Okay, question number 2. Florian Schneider died this week. Why was he well known? So Florian Schneider died this week. Why was he well known? Question number 3. A new Banksy artwork appeared this week. It depicts a small boy dressed in dungarees playing with what? So a new Banksy artwork appeared this week. It depicts a small boy dressed in dungarees playing with what? Okay, question number 4. Which tech entrepreneur named their child X-Ash A12 this week? Question 4. Which tech entrepreneur named their child X-Ash A12 this week? Okay, question number 5. It was Vesak Day on Thursday. Which religion is this day an important date in? It was Vesak Day on Thursday. Which religion is this day an important date in? Hope I pronounced that right. Okay, question number 6 is for 1 point. Which politician received a visit from the police this week who advised him on what is and what isn't classed as essential travel? So which politician received a visit from the police this week who advised him on what is and what isn't classed as essential travel? Question 7. What's the name of the government's COVID-19 advisor who resigned after breaking lockdown rules? That's for 1 point. What is the name of the government's COVID-19 advisor who resigned after breaking lockdown rules? Okay, question number 8. Which government minister led today's Downing Street coronavirus press conference? Which government minister led today's Downing Street coronavirus press conference? That is question number 8 for 1 point. Question 9. Which Hollywood actor announced this week that they were teaming up with NASA to record a new movie set in space and filmed on the International Space Station? Which Hollywood actor announced this week that they were teaming up with NASA to record a new movie set in space and filmed on the International Space Station? That's for 1 point. And finally for this round, question number 10. The Bank of England warned this week that Britain may suffer a 14% drop in GDP due to coronavirus. But what does GDP stand for and what is it? That's for 2 points. What does GDP stand for? And second point, what is GDP? So the Bank of England warned this week that Britain may suffer a 14% drop in GDP due to coronavirus. What does GDP stand for and what is it? Okay, if anyone wants any questions repeated, then please pop it in the chat. I'm going to be back in 1 little second. Okay, I'm back. Can you spell question 5? Duncan. Open. It was Vesak Day on Thursday. I am probably pronouncing this wrong. It's V-E-S-A-K. V-E-S-A-K. Any other questions? Okay, if there's no more questions needed repeated, we'll go into the answers. Okay, the answers to the current events round. Question 1, Boris Johnson became a father last week. What is his new child's first name? It's Wilfred. The full name was Wilfred Laurie Nicholas Johnson. Question 2. Florian Schneider died this week. Why was he well known? He was co-founder of German synth pop group Kraftwerk, who died this week. Question 3. A new Banksy artwork appeared this week depicting a small boy dressed in dungarees playing with what? It was a small boy playing with his new favourite superhero, an NHS nurse, having discarded Batman and Spider-Man in a waste paper bin. Question 4. Which tech entrepreneur named their child X-A12 this week? That was Elon Musk. That's for 1 point. Question 5. It was Vesak Day on Thursday. What religion is this day an important date in? It's Buddhism. It's a celebration of Buddha's birthday, and for some Buddhists marks his enlightenment. Question 5. Question 6. Which politician received a visit from the police this week who advised him on what is and isn't classed as essential travel? That was Nigel Farage. They received a complaint that he'd gone to Dover to report on illegal migrants. Question 7. What is the name of the government's COVID-19 advisor who resigned after breaking lockdown rules? It was Professor Neil Ferguson. That's for 1 point. Question 8. Which government minister led today's Downing Street coronavirus press conference? It was Grant Shapps, the Transport Secretary. Question 9. Which Hollywood actor announced this week that he was teaming up with NASA to record a new movie set in space and filmed on the International Space Station? That was Tom Cruise. And finally, question 10 for 2 points. The Bank of England warned this week that Britain may suffer a 14% drop in GDP. What does GDP stand for and what is it? So for 1 point, it's gross domestic product. And the second point, if you had something along the lines of GDP is the size of the economy at a point in time, GDP measures the total value of all goods made and services provided during a specific time period, or something like that. Then you'll get the point. Right, if you could fire through your scores, I'll do my best to get them down as quickly as possible. Right, Dullards. Dullards got 9. Dopey, etc. got 7. 3 for Bold and Brash. Candrew got 10. They've been watching the news this week. Flammable Llama's got 9. Team Open got 9. Dances with Dogs got 4. Rubber Dinghy Rapids got 5. McCohen, not McEwen, got 9. Crumpets in capital letters got 6. Executive Hobo got 5. Dunvegan got 10. Score. Last week's joint winners there, Dunvegan. Bananagrams got 9. Reeling Gropers got 4. 5 for Axel Foley. Winegums got 9. Martini and the Rocks got 5. Maltesers PLC got 4. Lebo Baggins got 9. Mini Groovers got 5. Joni Olaloni got 4. Daft Kiwis 6.5. The Wee Yin got 3. Eight for Jim Rat. Home Alone got 7. Pickled got 1. Right. I think that's everyone in. Right, so still in the lead are Team Oban with 32 points. I think they're on their own in the front. Yep, and then we've got Wine Gums and Bananagrams in joint second place. Okay, that was the news and the current events round. The last round then. Okay, the last round is the back to school round. All questions you would expect to get at school. Each question is a different subject. So the first round is a picture question. Let me just get this up. So the first round is a maths question. Please solve this equation for the value of x. So please solve this equation for the value of x. Okay, that was question 1, the maths question. Question 2 is English literature. Which great American novel set in the Roaring Twenties features the characters of Nick Carraway and Daisy Buchanan and ends with the line, "So we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past"? So which great American novel set in the Roaring Twenties features the characters of Nick Carraway and Daisy Buchanan and ends with the line, "So we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past"? We'll make this a 2-pointer if you want a point for the novel and a point for the author. Okay, question 3 is music. So by popular demand, I'm going to say the lyrics to a song, and you've got to guess what the song is. And this is for 1 point. So here we go. I love the colourful clothes she wears, and the way the sunlight plays upon her hair. I hear the sound of a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. I'll say that again. I love the colourful clothes she wears, and the way the sunlight
plays upon her hair. I hear the sound of a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. So that's question 3, the music question. It's name the song for that, so it's 1 point only. Okay, question 4 is biology. With what does this diagram refer? What's shown in this diagram? That is question number 4. Okay, question number 5 is history. What in history was Operation Overlord better known? What in history was Operation Overlord better known? Question 6 is art. What is a technique of mural painting whereby a painting is done rapidly in watercolour on wet plaster on a wall or ceiling so that the colours penetrate the plaster and it becomes fixed as it dries? What in art is a technique of mural painting whereby a painting is done rapidly in watercolour on wet plaster on a wall or ceiling so that the colours penetrate the plaster and become fixed as it dries? That's for 1 point. Question number 7 is chemistry. Which element has the chemical symbol K? Which element has the chemical symbol K? Question 8 is geography. It's a picture question. Which city is this building in and what is the building? That's for 2 points. Which city is this building in and what is the building? Okay, question number 9 is film and media studies. In the 1984 film Gremlins, what are the name of the furry creatures which spawn reptilian monsters, the name being the Cantonese word for devil? So in the 1984 film Gremlins, what are the names of the furry creatures which spawn reptilian monsters, the name being the Cantonese word for devil? And finally, question 10, the last question of the whole quiz, is classical studies. In ancient Greek folklore, which bird cyclically regenerates every 500 years? In ancient Greek folklore, which bird cyclically regenerates every 500 years? So if anyone wants any questions repeated, if you pop down the question number, we'll go through the answers, we'll get the scores, we'll get the final scores, and then that big announcement, that big exciting announcement at the end. which we've been desperate to tell you about. So if anyone wants any questions repeated, question 4 there from Duncan was the biology question. So let me just pull that up again. With what does this diagram refer? So with what does this diagram refer? Sorry, question 3. Oh, the music question. Right, hang on. Right, so the music lyric question number 3 for 1 point. I love the colourful clothes she wears, and the way the sunlight plays upon her hair. I hear the sound of a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. Okay, that was the music question. Victoria is wanting a recap on which questions get extra points. So question 1 is maths, that's for 1 point. English literature gets 2 points for the novel and the author. And question 8 was the geography question. It gets 2 points. What city is the building in and what is the building? And there's a few people there wanting question 8 again, so let's pop that up for you to have a look at. Okay, does anyone need any more questions repeated? Or are we happy if we go on to the answers? Don't forget, folks, at the end of the quiz, we'll be making that really exciting announcement. And whoever wins tonight's quiz could win £500,000. I've just realised I've not got a coin, so be a bit tricky. Right, I'm going to assume the silence means we're all happy to go into the answers. So here we go. Okay, the answers then to the first round, to the last round, sorry. Right, the question 1 was the maths question. Please solve for x. So here's the answer here. 2x is 360 divided by 4, so 2x is 90, therefore x must be 45. So that was quite an easy one for the maths question. Question number 2, English literature. Which great American novel set in the Roaring Twenties features the characters of Nick Carraway and Daisy Buchanan and ends with the line, "So we beat on boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past," was The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald for 2 points. Question 3 was the music question. I love the colourful clothes she wears and the way the sunlight plays upon her hair. I hear the sound of a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air, was Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys. Question number 4 was the biology question. This diagram refers to the human kidney, of course. Question number 5, in history, what was Operation Overlord better known? It was better known as the D-Day landings at Normandy. Question number 6, what technique of mural painting is done where a painting is done rapidly in watercolour on wet plaster on a wall or ceiling so that the colours penetrate the plaster and it becomes fixed as it dries? That is fresco, commonly associated with the Italian Renaissance painting. Question 7, chemistry. Which element has the chemical symbol of K? That is potassium. And I saw Professor Kimber had put up. He was going to tell us what the reason was behind that, so we'll wait and see that. Question number 8, geography. Which city is this building in, and what is the building? This is the US Capitol building in Washington, D.C. So there's 2 points there, Washington, D.C. and the US Capitol building. Question number 9, film and media studies. In the 1984 film Gremlins, what was the name of the furry creatures which spawn reptilian monsters, the name being the Cantonese word for devil? The answer we were looking for there was Mogwai. So the answer to number 9 is Mogwai. And question 10, in ancient Greek folklore, which bird cyclically regenerates every 500 years? The answer is the phoenix. I thought this was quite apt because it's the quiz of fire. It spontaneously bursts into flames and is regenerated from the ashes. So that is the quiz. If you can get your answers into me now, I'll get them all added up. I'm going to have to find a coin for the scratch card, so it won't be a sec. Right, all the scores are coming in now. So, Kandri was the first one in there with 8 points. Flammable Llamas, I've got 10. Reeling Gophers, 8. I think we can give you that one, Sam. Yep. Team Open, 11. Good score. 7 for Bold and Brash. Bananagram's got 10. Dopey, etc. got 9. Winegum's got 12. Dunvegan got 8. Crumpets got 8. Bobo got 9. Quite a high scoring round, this one. It's a bit easy. Dullard's got 11. Kewin got 7. Rupert Dingy's got 7. Maltesers PLC got 8. Martini on the Rocks got 6. Daft Kiwis got 8. Mini Groovers got 6. Dances with Dogs got 6. The Wee-In got 7. Home Alone got 7. Lebo got 12. Good score there. Joni on her own got 9. And 10 for Axel Foley. 7 for Pickled. Right, so scores are in. Let's have a look. We do have one winner this week, and they got 43 points altogether. And the winners this week are Team Oban, In second place, we had the Wine Gums with 41 points. And in third place, we had Bananagrams with 39 points. So well done, Team Oban. Got your scratch card here. I've got a fork. I couldn't find a coin. So, right, let's... So, game one, you've got to find a diamond to win a prize. So that one wasn't. That was gold. A safe. A limo. A bank. Cash. No. No. So that game didn't win anything, I'm afraid. You can see that. So game two, find the lucky lottery hands to win, and that one's come back no. Game three, match 3 to win, and if you find a fiver, you win a fiver. Sorry, if you find a banknote, you win a fiver. And I'm afraid that's not a winner either. So yet again, there's no prize at the Quiz of Fire. But it's all about the fun and the taking part, isn't it? So, as I said at the start, we've got a big announcement, so I'll do that now. But just before I do, thanks very much for joining in and coming along once more. We'll do it again in a fortnight. But we're going to take the quiz on tour in a fortnight. We thought it was about time to do that. Obviously, we can't really do that at the moment. So next quiz, we are going to do live from the treehouse in the front garden. So that'll be the first date on the Quiz of Fire Tour 2020. So join us for that. We've not really worked out how we're going to do this yet, but it should be a lot of fun. So thanks again, and I hope you enjoyed that, and take care, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Okay, thanks, bye.